Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Kuya. We're back with another episode of HxA Kick Back, aka Hippie Podcast. Today we got another special guest.
Of course, bro.
Hey, so is it JvsonDell?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, low key. A lot of people be getting it wrong because I have the V as like an upside down A.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just pronounced Jason, though.
Okay, that's right, man. First thing I want to ask you, like, just get it started is, just tell the people who don't know, like, a little bit about where you grew up and like where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm from Sparks, Nevada. It's like on the outskirts of Reno. It's kind of like it's a quieter area, but like in certain areas it can be pretty like ghetto and all that. But I didn't grow up in like them rich areas and stuff. I kind of grew up in poverty, so I didn't really come from much. But I enjoyed what I had when I was a kid and all that.
Okay, that's right, man. Is that like close to Phoenix?
No, that's all. It's in Nevada.
Oh, you're from Nevada.
Yeah, I'm from Nevada.
Oh shit, my bad, bro. I thought you were Phoenix for some reason.
Yeah, no, I've been in Phoenix for about like 8 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been here for a while.
Okay, that's right. Man, you said like close to Reno, Nevada. Like growing up there, like what's it like for people that don't know? Like I feel like for most people, like my case, being from like LA areas, like my Nevada, I either think just Reno, Vegas, and just straight desert.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really like think about like all the towns. They only like because like Nevada's known for like the big cities like Vegas and Reno, but there's nicer parts like Carson. Carson's pretty nice. They got like a county fair they be doing all year and stuff like that. It's pretty nice though. For the most part, it is desert. I'm not gonna lie. Like it is pretty big desert, but like the areas that I grew up in, it was more like trees and like landscape. So I didn't really see a lot of the desert until I got to like my like 12, 13, like early teenagers. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty good. The summers they're not bad. They're not as hot as Phoenix, obviously, but and then like the winters, the winter can be pretty harsh. Sometimes they fall into like June and all that. But for the most part, it's pretty chill. I liked it as a kid.
Okay, that's right, man. And then from there, you said you went to Arizona, bro.
Yeah.
Like I want to ask you about that. Like just being in Arizona right now, it seems like for the underground and like that underground sound, funk sound, like it seems like Phoenix is where it's at. Like all the big artists in those genres, they're not going to New York, they're not going to LA. It's all in Phoenix. That seems like
yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of artists in the underground for like Phoenix. Like Phoenix has been pretty big recently, I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of homies in the underground and shit. I feel like there's not a lot of like funk artists, like specifically. But like, there's a lot of underground artists here. Like, I think Young Howl, I've seen him. Like, I've seen his performances and shit. I say he's probably like the closest to like what I make in terms of like music and all that. But like, the underground's pretty big here. I know there's a big like metal scene too, like with the bands and like hardcore scenes. Like, that's pretty big here in Phoenix, I would say.
Yeah, man. Like with that being said, like with just like the Phoenix scene popping off, like with underground sounds, like, is there anyone out there, like, in particular you're, like, looking to work with in the Phoenix area?
Yeah. So this was a while back. One of my homies I went to middle school with, I re-linked with him, and he went to school with this guy named Soulcats. And he was telling me about him. And when I first found out about him, he was pretty small, He was, like, using BandLab and all that. And, he was just starting out. But, like over the, like, past year or two, I've seen him grow pretty big. And, he's pretty fucking, like, dope. I talk to him here and there, and like I tell him, like I'm down to work and everything, but I just never find the time, to like record it open and send it to him, especially because like our sounds are like pretty different, I would say in a way. Yeah. But I want to be versatile and switch it up and hop on the beat like he does. But like right now, that's like the number one artist that I'm looking to work with in like the Phoenix underground.
And that's right, bro. Like I brought it up earlier, and like you were saying too, like how it's just popping over there.
Yeah.
Like, would you say like Phoenix is like very supportive of underground artists and like what's out there?
Yeah, I would say Phoenix is really supportive of the underground. Like you go to shows and like even if people don't know you, like if they fuck with your stuff and everything, like they'll show support. It's pretty dope. I've been to so many shows and shit where it's like there's people that I don't even know, but like I just fuck with their sound and everything. I fuck with it, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, who are you? Like I don't know you, so like I'm not gonna show love or anything. It's pretty supportive, I would say, especially in like the underground rap scene. I don't know about like the bands and everything, because I know they do shit a little bit differently, but like especially for the rap, I know it's pretty supportive.
Yeah, man. Now I want to switch gears a little bit, like to your actual sound and your music.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
when I was listening to your music, bro, like for me as a listener, I got like a real gritty, like that Memphis funk, like distorted 808s,
Yeah,
dark vibe. And
yeah, bro.
like, where'd you get your style from, man?
I would say like, I'll start from the beginning. Like when I was a kid and everything, TikTok first came out and everything. I was hearing all like these sounds and stuff. Like Freddie when his sound Opal, like the little snippet in the song when it started going viral, everybody started using it. I fucked with the sound a lot. I really liked it. So I just kept watching videos and videos of people making like, videos to it and shit. And eventually I found who the artist was and like what the song was. And at the time, like I lived with my grandma and she didn't have like a big old TV or anything. She went and bought like one of those antennas where you can like broadcast signals to like an older TV. And I
Yeah,
remember I was watching YouTube on it and shit, like one of those big bulky glass TVs and shit. And I remember I saw the music video for HxA when the first job did, and like my whole brain was just like, damn, like that's like I love the sound. Like that's something that like I want to do. And then later on, like I've been listening at this point for like so many years. I think like 4 or 5 years I've been listening to him. But like in middle school, I saw when he went on tour with Suicide Boys.
yeah,
I think that was 2023 actually, pretty recently. But I saw him perform at Madison Square Garden, and like seeing where he came from and all that, it's just like damn, like that's something I could achieve.
yeah.
Like that's something that I really want to like do. Like I want to perform for people. I want people to enjoy what I make just as much as I enjoy making it. So like that's really like my goal with music is to just make shit that people can enjoy. As much as I enjoy making it. And like I really draw inspiration from like the darker and grittier sounds, because like that's what I fuck with. Like I don't know if you see, but I got like horror posters and shit. Like I fuck with the horror stuff. So when I'm making music, I kind of think of it as like I'm making a movie, but like through music. So I'm saying all like this crazy shit, but it's like if you think about it, it's like I'm the serial killer in the horror movie. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what's
So it's like a darker take on like the music, I would say.
for sure. Like next one I got for you though is like, like I didn't mean to like box you in as like, oh, like a funk artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was just what I got from when I listened. But I want to ask you
Mhm.
like what would you classify your sound as?
Honestly, I've thought about this myself a few times, and like I feel like like if you're trying to like box me into something, I guess you could put me in with like funk, maybe like what is like horrorcore. But
Yeah,
honestly, I feel like I don't really have like a definite like defined like genre that I make. I kind of just make like dark, gritty, like heavy hitting shit. Like there's not really a name for what I make, I feel like. But if you try and find a name for it, it's probably gonna be like, funk or like horrorcore. Or you can even go as far as saying like dark trap maybe.
so man. I want to ask you like you got songs like Up the Pole and Bleed, and like like those ones you got like real energy to it, but then
Yeah.
I feel like it's also dark and emotional at the same time.
Mhm.
So like, I just want to ask you, like when you record tracks like those, like uh like what type of headspace are you in, and like how do you record stuff like that, bro?
Yeah, like when I was first starting out, like my situation wasn't the greatest and all. So I would kind of use music as like an outlet. Like if I was thinking about like all these like bad things, going through depression and shit like that, like making the music and like putting like, those dark thoughts into like it's something like an outlet, it kind of helps. So like in the beginning, like the darker and grittier like lyrics, I guess you could say, that's where
Yeah,
it came from. But as like, time came on, like it's kind of the same now, but it's not as bad as it was, seeing as like my situations and all that. But
yeah,
like I still now I kind of think of it as like, okay, I'm painting this picture in my head, I got like what's gonna happen, it's like a story in a sense if you think about it. So I kind of just keep trying to stay on theme with like the horror, like it's like the scary, gritty kind of sound, you know what I mean?
yeah, most definitely, man. Like when you said right there, like you kind of like use the music as like a therapy.
Yeah.
I kind of like listen to your songs, like the song "Pathetic." Like I got that vibe from that song, like where it seemed like a therapy. Good ass song too.
Yeah, yeah. I try and like whatever I post or whatever I like put out there, I try and make sure it's as best as I can get it. You know, I make sure when I make it, I'll listen to it like 100 times. Like I'll keep it on repeat. You know, just make sure I really like it myself before I even like show people. Because if I don't like it, then you know, I feel like other people might not. But you know, that's not always the case. But for me at least, I want to have satisfaction in what I make. And if I can have satisfaction, then I'm more than certain other people will be happy with it.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Like, hey, me as a listener, you know, I fuck with the sound, bro. Um, one thing I want to ask too, bro, is like, when you make music, are you more of like a writer or like just punch in real quick and like freestyle straight up to the beat?
Yeah, it's weird because when I first started, you know, I thought I was like, you know, a freestyler, but like as I kind of like got more diverse, I guess you could say, and like more into it, I started writing more. Like I'll be able to work and shit, and I'll think of a bar or something, I'll just like write it down in my notes app. And sometimes I'll just sit and like I'll think of like a bar and I'll kind of just go off of it and I'll write it down. And you know, it's pretty convenient having it on my phone and shit, not like a pen and paper I gotta write it with. Because you know, if I forget something, because I do be forgetting bars and shit, I just got it on my phone. So I got like pages and pages of just bars I'd be written down from shit I've been thinking about in my head like throughout the days and shit. So as of recently, I guess you could say like I'm more of a writer.
So man, like when you write the songs, like I know this like with a lot of artists, like they have to have a beat in the background to write, and then
Yeah,
there's some that don't. They could just write it, and then once they hear the beat, they'll flow what they wrote to the beat. Like which one?
yeah. I would say it depends on the beat. If I hear the beat before I make the lyrics, then usually I'll write the lyrics to the beat. But for most cases, I write my lyrics and then I'll go and like hit up my producers and shit, and like they'll send me beats and I'll kind of just like match the lyrics and make a flow out of it. So that's usually what I do, like to you know find the flow and like when I write to like the beats and shit.
That's right, man. Like, you brought it up right now. Like you hit up your producers. I noticed your songs. You got your main producers. It seems like is Merc and Eddie R. And then you got
Yeah,
Mummified Mike.
yeah, dude, those are the homies. It's crazy because I met Mike through SoundCloud. Well, when he first started doing music and shit, he hit me up. He's like, "Yeah, I really like your stuff and everything. You want to do a track and everything?" So you know, I got his Discord and we got to talking, and it was a while before we put out our first track together and shit. I think the first one we put out was Nosebleed. It's on his it's on SoundCloud and everything. But yeah, we were talking and every excuse me. We were talking and everything, and you know, that's just kind of how it happened. And then from there, I saw he worked with like Eddie, and you know, I hit up Eddie and everything, and then that's just how it happened. And then Mike introduced me to Merc through Discord because all those motherfuckers, they're all from Sweden and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, Eddie's from Australia, but the whole like slasher cult, that's like the collective I'm in.
yeah.
Like for the most part, they're all in Sweden, except for like me and Eddie.
Okay. Then, I was gonna ask about that slasher. The slasher code, is that like a record label? Like, is that just a crew? Like the
I
West?
would say it's more like a collective. It's not really like a record label. We never like established like defined record label. But it's just kind of like a collective of artists that kind of make the same shit. You know, sometimes Mark he'll produce beats for shit. And me, I got some shit working. Like I'm working on some stuff with him right now. I'm working on an album actually. A lot of shit by Eddie is gonna be produced on there. A lot of stuff by Merc. I got a couple of beats I think that Mike's gonna send over to me. I'm gonna work on too. So yeah, for the most part, I think I'm like the main like rapper. I do a lot of like rapping. A lot of them produce, but they sometimes do rap, and when they do, it's pretty hard.
That's right. Hey, I want to bring this up because you brought it up, bro. You said there's an album on the way. Like,
Yes.
you got a date? Or, like, we can,
I don't have a set date yet. I do have like a time frame. I want to drop it between like late September and early October. It's gonna be a pretty like lengthy album. I think like 15, 14 tracks. Probably like my like longest length album I've done.
that's right, man. So,
Yeah.
fall season is when we could.
Yeah. I wanted to give myself time to actually like put thought and effort into it, you know. I already have like singles and everything lined up, so I'm not just like leaving those in between months, you know, with nothing. I still got shit lined up to be dropping and stuff, but I would say by then I'm gonna release the album.
Okay, for sure, man. So, y'all heard it here. HxA Kick Back. Got to stay tuned for that album.
Yes.
And I want to ask you too, like, you know, some songs I see like you write it solo, and then other ones you have features on it too.
Yeah.
I want to ask you like how do you choose the future someone on a song, or is it like someone hits you up to be featured on your song?
Yeah, so I think the majority of my features I have like it's like mainly like two or three people. I got like Mike and then with a main. And I think I have one older feature. I think his name was like Isaiah or something like that. I don't really be in touch with him like that no more, but that was like one of the first features I did. But usually when I'm looking for like people I want to work with, I listen to their discography. I'll listen to what they got, you know, and if it doesn't like have to correspond with what I make, but if it's like in the same like field, you know, and if I fuck with it, you know, I'll hit them up and everything. For example, like with Witherman, I saw that Mike had liked one of his tracks, so I went and checked him out and everything. You know that man's hard, dude. Like everything he makes is just like on point. I don't know how he does it. You know, he be dropping like tapes after tapes, but it's crazy. So I hit him up, and then you know, I was talking with him and everything. He's a cool dude. You know, he's on the I think it was Music with the Undead, my like latest tape.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on there. He's like the only feature on there, I think.
that's right. Do you? I'm not sure if you know yet, or if you could like drop that. But you have any futures on the album coming up?
Um, Not specifically. I do have a track dropping tonight though. It is with Witherman, funny enough. So I do got that coming tonight. But as of now, I don't really got any people that I'm trying to get on the album. I probably will find a couple of people in the future that I do want to work with. I talked to a couple of homies and shit. They said they'd be down to, you know, help produce and help on the beats and everything.
That's right. Next one I got for you, bro, is like if you could line up like one dream collab, like the artist, producer, like who would be at the top of your list right now?
Top of my list, I gotta say Freddie Dreadman. Like he's like he's like the only reason that I even like got into this kind of music. You know, like from there I started exploring like the Doom Shop places, like the Doom Shop people and shit, like Cursed, MC Holocaust, you know, DJ Koza, all of them like dope ass fools. Like I started listening to them, and from there I just kind of branched out, like listening to different like, you know, artists in that like same realm. But
Yeah,
like Freddie is what really started it for me. You know, I feel like a lot of people say like, oh, Suicide Boys or Ramirez, but like I didn't really get into them. When I first heard Suicide Boys, I was kind of like I didn't really fuck with it, honestly. I thought it was like kind of weird. I don't know, but I fuck with them now. Obviously, you know, they're pretty dope. I don't dislike their music, but you know, at first, all I was listening to was Freddie J. Like I couldn't unhook myself because he had that good blend of like, you know, jazzy beats with like, you know, those like bossa nova type shit, and then he had those hard hitting like hard beats, you know, like with Diddy and like what is it, Wrath, you know, those hard hitting beats. And I just like the complimentary I had like on one of his albums. I think it was I forget the name. It's one of his older tapes though. He had a song called Abuse. That
yeah,
one was like a hard hitting beat, and then he had other tracks on there. I think one was called what's it called? I forget the name, but for example, they just like it's like a good blend of like, you know, like slower shit, but it's not too slow. It's like something you can bob your head to. I really
yeah,
like I don't want my like I can't I'm not gonna lie, I can't sing for shit. So if I make music, it's gonna be rap. So if I'm gonna rap, you know, I fuck with like jazz and shit too. I don't like, you know, there's a lot of music I listen to. So I like how he incorporated like the jazz and the slowness, but also with like the hard hittingness, you know, where you can bob your head to it. And it's not something like, oh, you know, it's a sad, you know, slower song. It is in a sense, like with like the
yeah,
samples and all that, but that's like what stood out to me the most. But like as of recently, he has made a couple of songs like that, but for the most part, it's like that harder hitting stuff. And I do enjoy it.
yeah. Most definitely, man. Like, cause I remember before earlier you said like you found Freddie Dredd like around like middle school age or like high school age.
Yeah, I
So
found him like I want to say like 2017, 2018.
okay. So like before that, bro, cause like now like you know you're fully jumped in as like an underground artist. Like
Yeah,
did like were you always a musical kid or like did the or any
honestly, honestly, no, I didn't. I grew up going to church a lot, so like a lot of the music that I would hear is like, you know, church music, or if it wasn't church music, it'd be like, you know, country music, or just a lot of like that kind of music, you know, like not a lot of the rap or not a lot of the other stuff. But as I got older, my cousin, I was on a road trip with him, and he was listening to Chance the Rapper, and that's like the first sort of rap I ever really heard. And
Yeah,
from there, I just kind of went on to listening to the mainstream stuff, and then from there, it's just like like I said, like I found Freddie, and it's just like my whole perspective changed. I didn't really like this mainstream no more. It just sounded all the same to me. And like once I heard like the underground, it's like some of the beats can sound the same, but the way these people are doing their vocals and all their mixes and shit is crazy because it sounds different and it's like unique to the person, especially because a lot of these people just do it from their room. Like I do everything from my room. Like I don't got no special studio or nothing.
man, that's what's up. Like when you say it like that, like most of these people do it from their room. Like, man, I've been to like a few underground shows of people like I've been listening to for like since I was in high school. But like they're big, but they're still underground. And like
Yeah,
when I talk to them, they'll be like, bro, like I record all my stuff myself, mix it myself. And
yeah.
I was like,
It's
damn,
crazy because like it doesn't sound like it. Like it sounds, like they're up in the, fancy studios with all this equipment, but like really all you need is like a good microphone. If you want better audio, get like an audio interface and like a good laptop and some good headphones. And like besides that, you don't really need a lot. I think you can get like a cheap setup for like under 1,000, 1,500 maybe.
yeah, yeah. The
But
audio,
like it's pretty
that's
simple.
what hits you is the audio interface.
Yes, dude. I got one, dude. It's like game changer.
Yeah.
Audio interface. I got the Scarlet. I forget the full name, but it's like the small little red one.
Okay, I got the same one, man. Like the funny thing, like funny story, bro. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. But like we were doing the podcast with my homies, and we're like, man, we need one of those little things. So we go to Guitar Center, and we're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, we're gonna get mics, mic stands, and that $400, 500.
Yeah,
We
I got
go,
my shit on Amazon. I got my mic for like I think 100, 150. I think it's a AT 2020. It's a good ass starting mic. And then I got my little interface for like I think 100. And then I got my headphones for like 50. So like
damn, you know,
350.
yeah,
Yeah, like 350 400. That's like besides like your laptop or like if you use a computer or shit. But I low key prefer the laptop because I can kind of bring it wherever. I don't really need to like have a station set up.
yeah. No, I get you. Um, next one I got for you, man. Like just being an artist in the underground. Like nowadays it's like for anything to get out there, it's always social media, algorithms, and things like that. So like, as an underground artist, like what keeps you locked in and motivated, like to make music and to try to break through these like algorithms so we can get out there more.
Yeah. That is something like I think about a lot is like, I see a lot of these people, they say, oh, I want to do this as like for as long as I can, take it to the grave and all that. But then they just kind of stop doing it. Like I say the same thing, but I mean it. Like I'm gonna do this as much as I can. Like I'll work a 9 to 5 and come home and spend like 4 or 5 hours recording, you know what I mean? Like this is a passion for me. I really enjoy making music and shit. I would say like to put myself out there, you just gotta stay consistent. Honestly, it doesn't really matter like how you promote yourself. I would say to a degree it does, but for the most part, if you're just being consistent, you're staying on top of your shit. You're just being real consistent. Like I said, it's like the best thing you can do because if you just stop doing shit, no one's gonna see you. Like if a guy has like 5 videos that have like thousands of views and shit, but I have like tons and tons of videos. Eventually, they're gonna start catching on, and all those videos, they're gonna start getting views, even the older ones. So it's like you just gotta stay consistent, because if you're not consistent, it's just gonna fall apart eventually.
Yeah, definitely, man. What's one hard lesson you had to learn when you started making music?
One hard lesson I really had to learn is quality over quantity. I mean, when I first started, I just wanted to make music and just have so much like music in my discography. I just wanted to have it out there, but I had to like stop myself and slow down and like realize that I gotta make quality music versus having a whole bunch of tapes or a whole bunch of albums and singles. Like I'd rather have a few hard hitting tracks that are well produced than like a couple albums that aren't even that good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely, man. So, I want to bring it back a little bit, bro. Like, I want to ask you, like, where'd you come up with the name JvsonDell?
This is funny because I struggled finding like a good name for a while. I remember at one point it was like Young Leprechaun, some dumb shit. But I had so many names. I went through so many I was like stressing myself in my head, like what am I gonna name myself? You know, I need a name. I remember, I'm into horror and all that, and at the time, I loved like Jason, like from Friday the 13th and all that.
Yeah.
And I was binge watching the movies and shit. And I was just sitting on my laptop one day, and I looked at the back of it and it said Dell, and I was like, oh, I've never heard the name Dell like anywhere in like music or like the underground. So I kind of just put those two together. And when it came to like spelling it, I was just looking at it and it kind of looked off. So I spelled it in caps, and it still it looked good, but it didn't look like finished. And then when I put the V as like an upside down A, I was like, yeah, like that's what I'm gonna use,
Man, most definitely, bro. Like, I want to ask you though, like, when you hear the name like JvsonDell, like, what do you think it represents compared to when you first started dropping music and found the name?
I would say now it kind of represents like a murderous, like, I don't give a shit, like it represents like that kind of attitude where you just don't care and you're on some bullshit and you're always doing something. Like I feel like JvsonDell is like a character. Like I kind of see it as like a character. Like he's like like a horror villain, like Art the Clown or Pennywise or something. Like they're that really evil, like they got evil intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just nothing but like sinister. That's kind of how I see JvsonDell, as like a really like brutal like serial killer type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Um, Man, I want to bring it back too, because like I think I brushed over when you said like you performed a few times and went out in Phoenix. You know?
Yeah, I didn't perform, but I've seen people perform. I don't know
Oh,
if you got that wrong, but I do plan on performing soon. That's something I've been low key procrastinating about. But I feel like as of now, I got enough music out because like before I wanted to perform, but like I didn't really have a lot out, especially on Spotify. I wanted to
yeah,
have a good little discography on Spotify. But I do plan on performing by October. So like right around when like the album drops, kind of like an album release.
yeah.
But I've been to a good amount of shows, so I feel like I know how the crowds work, and I know how performing and all that works. I got a whole bunch of homies that perform and everything, so I feel like I'm pretty versed. I'm pretty ready to get up on stage.
Okay, that's right. So we should expect to see you out there in the Phoenix Underground by October.
Yes, yes, by October, definitely.
All right, man. And I know you brought it up. Like you said, album in October, a single dropping tonight. You know, but I want to ask, like, you got a name for that project that's dropping, and then
I do. It's gonna be called what is it gonna be called? Shit, hold on, let me look at my phone real quick. I be forgetting it. See, that's what I'm saying. The notes come in handy.
yeah,
The notes come in handy. I do got a name. Uh, Exile. That's what it's gonna be called. Exile.
Exile. Okay, dope. So Exile coming out in October, like
Yeah,
15 tracks or so. You said.
yeah. It's gonna be a pretty lengthy album. I haven't decided yet, but I might do a deluxe version with like a couple more tracks on there.
That's what's up, man. Like with that album, man. Like I noticed, like with your other singles and like tapes you drop, like you got some dope cover art. Like some
Yeah,
VHS looking thing. Like I want to ask you, like, how you go with those visuals.
yeah. So when I first started, I kind of just went to Pinterest and found like pretty like sick images that I thought were cool, and I just used them as cover art. But I started like I found this one artist. He's a producer. His name's Gage Man. I found him on SoundCloud, and like I just really loved all his cover arts and his visuals and shit. So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, like how do you make these, or like do you find them or someone makes them for you? He's like, yeah. He told me he uses this program called Photopea. It's like a free version of Photoshop. So I looked it up. I'm looking at it, and it's literally like the same thing as Photoshop. There's just a little less features on there, but it's basically the same. You can do like pretty much everything you can on Photoshop. And from there, I kind of just looked up videos and like how to do the basics, and then I kind of just started like doing it myself and everything. But lately, I've had a couple of homies that do cover arts for me. Like for my album that's coming out, I got a homie. He's gonna do some like hand drawn cover art. That's gonna be sick as fuck.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, his name's Alex, Big Alex on Insta. He's pretty dope.
Big Alex. He does like art and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does more like that grimy, like horror, like gore looking, like slam covers. You know what I'm talking about, like slam metal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he does more of the gory shit, but it's dope. I fuck with it.
For sure, man. I want to ask you, you know, 'cause you said like you're down, you wanted to work with some artists who have a different sound, but you're down to like experiment with it. So I want to ask you, like, where are you trying to take your sound next?
Um, I kind of just want to like evolve it to where it's like a mixture of like, you know, I don't know if you know like the Baby Tron flips or like the flips that like DJ S be doing. I kind of want to incorporate that into like the Freddie Dredd sort of sound with like the grittiness, you know, with the bass and like the snares and shit. I kind of want to incorporate that eventually. Um, I got a homie that's doing a RMX for me of on like a flip beat. So I'm just kind of testing the waters with different shit. But like as of now, I'm probably gonna keep evolving the sound that I have and just like, kind of like perfect it.
Okay, for sure. That's right. Um, like, where do you see yourself with the music in the next 2 years, man?
The next 2 years, I definitely see myself doing like more shows consistently. By then, hopefully I'm gonna grow a significant amount because you know pretty soon get my own place and all that. I'll have more like freedom to do what I need to do to like grow. You know, I plan on doing music videos more, like, interviews when I can, especially in person, just like putting myself out there, networking with people and just getting my name out there as much as I can. Like obviously my goal is to make it a career, but like if I can, make myself a name in the underground, like, as like a staple in the underground, I feel like I will accomplish what I'm, trying to do.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Just gotta stay consistent. I see you, bro.
Exactly.
All right, man. This next segment, bro, is called the quick hitters. All right, so the first one I got for you, man, is your top 5 favorite artists, dead or alive.
Top 5 favorite artists. I won't put them in like any specific order. So first I'd probably put first one I'd probably say Freddie Dredd, of course.
Yeah.
Second one I'd say Baby Tron, or not Baby Tron, Baby Goyard.
Okay.
Baby Goyard. I really love Baby Goyard. A lot of his older stuff too. Um, I would say the band Death. They're not really artists, but it's a band.
Okay.
I'm really into a lot of bands. I listen to a lot of like death metal and slam. I'd say I've been recently getting into more like gothic metal, I guess you could say. They're pretty like the most known band I'd say for that is like Typo Negative, but I also love Typo Negative. So I'd probably say like Freddie Dredd, Baby Goyard, Death, Typo Negative, and then one more band that really stands out to me and I really love, Electric Wizard. It's a stoner doom band. I love that band. Stoner doom and like sludge metal. It's just like I love that type of music because a lot of times, people think, oh, you're a rapper, you make rap music, it's all you listen to. But like, no, I listen to a lot of metal. I feel like that's my main like genre that I'd be listening to a lot is a lot of like metal, a lot of like sludge, doom. Another good band is like Candlemass. I love that band. But yeah, there's just a lot of like bands that I listen to. But I do listen to a lot of rap, obviously, and a lot of artists that I like. I just can't, they don't really come to mind because there's just so many that I'd be listening to.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a good top 5. Next one I got, man, is this one's not really music, but like, what's the best local food spot out there in Phoenix?
Best local food spot? Shoot. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't really be going to like food spots. I kind of just be going down the street, getting like a pizza or something.
Yeah.
But if I would say like local food spot, there's this place called Alla Crepes. They do a lot of shows and they do a lot of bands perform there, but it's like also a restaurant and they have crepes and they have like a bunch of other good shit. It's like downtown Phoenix. It's really good though. If you ever got the chance, you should look it up.
Okay, for sure, man. Yeah, because we be in Phoenix quite a bit, so I'm gonna go look it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of food spots in Phoenix. I do know that. I'm just not really in tune with a lot of it.
Okay, for sure, man. Next quick hitter for you, I got because you said like you really like metal and like music like that. So I gotta ask you, uh, that underground hip hop mosh pit or rap mosh pit or the metal mosh pit? Which
Oh,
one?
dude. There's differences because with the rap mosh pits, it's more just like jumping up and down, bumping into each other. But like, you go to these hardcore shows, dude, they're like swinging feet, they're swinging fists. They're looks like they're fucking helicopters in there and shit. They throw themselves around and everything's crazy. But definitely, like in terms of like hype and like how crazy the crowd can get, I definitely say these metal shows. Like I personally, I don't go into the pit that much, but like my homies and shit do, and like it's crazy. This one time this guy got knocked out. I saw it's crazy.
Yeah, that was at a metal show.
That was at a metal show. Yeah. I went to go see Puya when he went on tour too with Freddie and Cursed, and I would
Mhm.
say the crowd there for like the bigger shows like that, they do get pretty crazy. I was in the pit. I got beer spilled all over me. I got like food all on me, water and everything tossing me in the pit. But I would say these like local, like underground shows, they're a lot like like grimy and like, it's just kind of like you're just in the middle of like nowhere. Like I went to this one show, it was like literally in a parking lot off of a highway. So like these shows can get pretty like, dangerous, honestly. But they're pretty fun to go to if you just, be aware of your surroundings and just watch yourself. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's right. Nah, yeah, man. Some of the underground rap shows though, they like the pit. It's not like no wild swinging like the metal pits, but some of them get pretty active, bro. Like
Yeah, they do. I
Guap,
low key,
Michael, like those ones get grimy. Some of the Black Smurf shows get like that.
yeah, the Black Smoke shows get pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I've
Yeah.
seen I think it was a Chris Travis concert. I think
Oh,
it was at the Mesa Theater, something like that. But it got pretty turned. There's a pretty good crowd. They get lit and shit. I'm not gonna lie though, I kind of like the smaller venues where it's like a smaller space because I feel like it gets more hype. I don't know, for some reason it's just like the smaller areas. There's more people in there. You feel the energy. It's just kind of like hype in my opinion.
no, I,
Sometimes there's not even like a stage. You're just in the middle of the crowd with the microphone that's like hooked up to the speaker and shit.
no, I agree on that. Like, I feel like at the smaller venues and smaller shows, like it's like people who really fuck with the music, and like when you go to these
Yeah,
shows, I feel like some people go like they just like nothing wrong with it. You're supporting the artist, but like some of them they just know like the one or two big songs.
yeah, and or like sometimes they'll just go with their friends because their friends invited them and shit. But
Yeah,
like at the smaller shows, it's like, oh, like a lot of these people know who the artist is, and they're going to support, and like just like go get lit, basically.
yeah, yeah. All right, man. Last one I got for you on the quick hitters, bro, is what's a piece of advice for a young artist out there trying to hop into this game to make music?
One piece of advice, I would say just focus on your sound. Like find like what you're trying to do. Like find a purpose for your music, and once you find that purpose, you'll eventually find the sound you're looking for. You'll find what you're trying to do with it, and once you got all that, you just from there, it's just a matter of putting yourself out there. Promoting yourself. Connecting with different people. You know, just making yourself known amongst these people, and once you get like a tight knit community, it's like these people will support you till you're all the way at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely, man. All right, Jason, man. Before I let you go, bro, like, where can the people find your music? Your socials.
Yeah, JvsonDell, all platforms, JvsonDell, all caps. Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud. I'm on YouTube. I think I got like a YouTube channel that Disco Kid, like my distributor, uploads, and then I got a personal one where I upload shit. I've been meaning to upload more on there, but I just gotta be busy and shit. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Just pretty much JvsonDell on all plats.
So, man, like, when this drops, that single's already gonna have dropped by then, but
Mm,
single drops later tonight, right?
yeah, yeah,
Single drop later tonight. I'm gonna listen to it. Album coming up October. Probably see
yep,
you on stage by then.
yeah. I'm excited.
That's right, man. Well, all right, Jason Dell, man. Thank you for the interview, bro.
Yeah, of course.
You guys are watching the HxA Kick Back, aka Hippie Podcast.
It was an honor to be on here, man. For real.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.